Hi, this is JP, founder of LeanWisdom. I'm also an Agile and Safe consultant. In this video, we're going to look at how do we write thousands of lines of bad code. How do we manage to write thousands of lines of bad code in a project? You must be wondering, right? What do you mean by thousands of lines of bad code? Why is this guy talking about writing bad code? That's what we do. I'll give you an example, right? So a friend of mine, Kevin, who's leading a large program, he approached me and asked me to check, what is going wrong in his teams, right? How is their agility, right? So I went and started interacting with this team, and I asked them a few questions. One of the questions I asked them was, how many lines of code that you write in a sprint, right? And they told me around 1,000 lines of code in a 2-week sprint. Okay. Then I asked them, what are the practices that you follow to make sure that these 1,000 lines of code is actually good? And they said, we write code and we do some kind of a review, a quick review, and then we just start testing, we ship it, right? And we started digging further to see how good is this code. Then we figured out that around 50% of the code, 50% of the code is bad. What does it mean? In a sprint of 2 weeks, 1,000 lines of code was written. In that, 500 lines of code is bad. What does it mean? We managed to write a lot of bad code because we want to produce some features. Is that true? Looks like it's your scenario too, right? Okay. So, now, what is bad in this? So what, right? That's how software is, and that's how we have been doing it. Okay, let me give you a further scenario. In one sprint, in a sprint of 2 weeks, we write 1,000 lines of code in which 500 lines are bad. Now let's kind of extrapolate. This team is running for 6 months, and they've been writing 1,000 lines of code every sprint. How many lines of code that they would have written in 6 months? If you look at it, 6 months is 12 sprints, so 12,000 lines of code, which means 6,000 lines of bad code were written. Is it good or bad? Oh, sounds like it's actually a little serious problem, right? It's not only 500 lines. Now in 6 months we have managed to write 6,000 lines of bad code, right? Is it good or bad? Bad, definitely bad. Sounds bad, right? Okay, let me take you through next scaled environment. Now this is one of the teams that's writing these many lines of bad code inside a program, inside a safe program, which consists of 15 such teams. Program which consists of 15 teams. One of the teams is writing 6,000 lines of bad code in 6 months. So what does it mean? Now the program is writing 6,000 into 15 times in 6 months. What does it mean? 90,000 lines of bad code directly written in no time, right? In 6 months' time. Is it good or bad? Sounds bad. Sounds worse, right? Yeah. So this is a problem. If you don't have good agility in place when you scale up, having a safe environment, moving to scaled environment, scaled agile environment, but without agility, you will have serious problems, right? If I compare these two situations, a team of 5-6 people are writing 1,000 lines of code in which 500 line is bad. Is it bad? It is bad. But if you have the same situation in a safe program where 10-15 teams, 15 teams writing 500 lines of code, bad code in a sprint, suddenly you see that the teams are writing a lot more bad lines of code than one single agile team. So how easy to manage these two? A team writing a bad code, you can still manage at some point to figure out and fix it. But a safe program, not having a good technical agility, good agile practices, good agile process in place, good agile practices like code review, automation, right? Test-driven development or static errors, static analysis, and things like that. If they don't have a good practices, in no time you will have a huge technical debt of big bad code. Yeah. So what does it mean? If you are moving to kind of a safe framework, make sure first that your agility first is in place. Technical agility is first put very well in place in each team, in every member of the team before scaling. Majority of the time, safe fails not because of safe, it's because of your engineering practices, your team level agility, right? And we end up saying that safe doesn't work for us because the problem is big. It's not because of safe, it's because the way we have built agility in the teams is really bad. So, I have seen this kind of problems in my past experience. So, when you move to safe, first make sure that your teams are good agile teams before they move to a scaled agile framework. Yeah? So, thank you for watching this video. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.